Hello everybody, today we're going to unbox the JK Tech E-Element Z-88 mechanical gaming keyboard, take a close-up look, plug it in and see it light up. So let's first take a look around the outside of the box. Okay, so now let's go ahead and open it up. And let's go ahead and pop the keyboard out from the box. And let's see what else there is left in the box. And make sure that's out as well. So that's the box emptied out. Now let's set the keyboard in the middle of the frame, along with the little packet that comes with it. So right there, keyboard and a little packet. Let's first take a look at this little packet, see what's in there. Okay, so those are the contents from the little bubble wrap package. So it comes with 2 key pluckers and 5 spare switches. So they are Gaote Otemu blue switches, and let me press it for you. So you can hear the kind of actuation of the switch once again. Alright, so 5 spare switches, as you can see, and 2 key pluckers, so spare ones if the switches ever do go faulty. Alright, let's set them aside. Let's plonk them right there. Okay, out of the way. Right, now let's take a look at the keyboard USB plug or connector. So it's nice to see that it is gold plated. So a little premium feature right there. And of course, let me undo the cable tie as well to give you an idea of the length. Okay. So you can see quite easily the length of the keyboard cable or cord. So it is a wired keyboard. And giving you a closer look at the USB plug right there. Okay, so nice premium feature with the gold plating on the connector end of the plug. Right, so moving up the cable is the actual keyboard itself. So let's go ahead and slide the bubble wrap packaging off, and there is some paperwork or papers that's included with the keyboard in that bubble wrap bag that we've just removed. And let me do a bit of reorganization and making sure everything's nice and neat in the frame. Okay, and so the paper that comes with it is a user guide. And let's just fold out the user guide right there for the JK Tech E-Element Z-88 mechanical gaming keyboard. So one side is in Chinese and the other in English. Okay, giving you a close-up look at the product features and LED lighting modes and various usage details of the keyboard. Okay, obviously I didn't read it, just showing you the details in the user guide for reference purposes. So there we go. So user manual up there, and just doing a bit of rejigging in the background. Okay, so far so good. Let's set it up slightly higher right there and to the side, and you can clearly see, of course, the blue switches in that top right hand corner with the key pluckers for removing the keys and the switches from the keyboard. So now we're looking at the keyboard itself. Just let me do a quick retidy right there, perhaps. So once again, cable or keyboard cord entirely in the frame right there. So lengthwise, you can see nice and long. Now giving you a close-up look of the keyboard. So you can see it is quite a small keyboard in terms of no large borders on the keyboard, really kind of minimalist in design, no clunkiness. Just a straightforward, neat keyboard. And it is a US layout, 104 keys. $sign at the number 4 right there. And I'm going to slide the keyboard across so you can see the detail. And there we have it. So just pressing on the keys to give you some sense of what the blue key or blue switches actuation is like. Okay, so quite smooth with a very light click feel. Let's take a look at the reverse side of the keyboard. So it does have two flip out stands or feet, and they are rubber coated for grip, and there are two silicone pads in the front to prevent any slippage, and of course there are two more chunky silicone pads at the rear as well when the feet or razors are folded down or in. Okay, so giving you a look at the size here of the keyboard on the underside. And it's interesting to note that this USB or cable for the keyboard appears to be removable. So it is a micro USB cable. or otherwise also known as an Android cable for the smartphone users among us. So very interesting. And making sure that it's going in the right way. There. And in. And there we go. And we do have 2 channels as well on either side to set the keyboard cable so that it doesn't interfere with your desktop or tabletop objects or real estate. So nice to see that little feature there of being able to channel the cable either from a central position or down the left or right of the keyboard. It's those little features that kind of make a difference in terms of usage and ergonomics. Alright, I'm going to show you a profile of the keyboard as well from the side. So see how raised the keys are. From the surface of the case. And I'll try to give you as many views as possible of the keyboard to show you as much detail as always. And let me toss that cable back. And in terms of material, this keyboard does have a metallic base surface here. However, everything else is made out of plastic. Okay, so nice to see the keyboard in close-up detail right there. And I'm going to set the keyboard down. And of course place my hands on it just to give you some perspective as to the size of the keyboard. And giving you some sense of the actuation of the blue switches. It's nice to see those chunky pads on the underside of the keyboard does really keep the keyboard locked down in place. And once again, there we go, with the hands by the side of the keyboard and on the keys as well. Okay, so that gives you a good idea of the size, close-up detail, and response of the blue switches of the keyboard. So it is the JK Tech E-Elements Z-88 mechanical gaming keyboard with blue switches. So they are Gaote / Otemu blue switches. So let's go ahead and plug in the keyboard. So I do have my Alienware M17X R3 laptop on the side. And with the USB cable plugged in, you can see that keyboard had a startup effect. Pretty nice looking. And now it's showing a static red as far as I can tell. And let's go ahead and play around with the modes. So we can play around with the modes with function insert. And let's try function insert again. And let's just keep going. So cycling through the different modes with function insert. So far so good in terms of the number of modes. Plenty and plenty of modes to play around with. So you do have this wavy effect right here. And I think we're back to the original mode, which is the static mode. And before I do that, let's try function 1 and see if that does anything. So it's changed the lit up keys. Function 2 does light up another set of keys. Function 3. Function 4 and function 5. So you can see with each function lighting up a particular set of keys. Let's see, function 6, 7, 8, 9 and so on. Nothing there, just 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So 4, function 3, function 2, function 1. Okay, so once again, function 1, function 2, function 3, function 4, and function 5. Now let's do function home. So function home, you can see the LEDs on the above the numeric keypad light up or blink. This lets you program the colors and association with the individual keys. And function home. Okay, so function home right now, it's recording, and that should save it. And if we go function insert, and we end up with what we've just saved, if we toggle through right there. So let's try that again, function home, and do L. Well, it's LOL, not sure if you can see that, but function home, oops, hit function insert by mistake, what a plonker, let's do that again. function home if we can. Let's go function insert and then function home. So what's happening here? Not quite sure. Let's go function insert, toggle, 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 toggle. So just toggling through, okay. Back to the programming mode. So obviously it toggles to that position where we've just recorded. Well, obviously I didn't manage to save. So let's just do LOL and function home. Let's make sure I hit home this time around. I hit insert just now, so it lost that set right there, that setting. So now if we do function insert, we can cycle through all the different modes again, and eventually toggling through, we will end up coming across that personalized setting right there with the LOL. So there we go, LOL. Obviously can't quite see it that clearly, but that was what we personalized. So nice feature right there. And let's go through the modes once again. And we can actually adjust the pace. Not sure if we can do that for all of the modes, but we can increase and decrease the speeds of each of these effects. So function left arrow with the down symbol there will slow down the effect, and function up speeds it up. Right there you can see just how fast it is now, and if we need to slow it down, function down or left, beg your pardon, will slow it down. So you can see the effect is a lot slower now. So let's run these effects in high speed just for the fun of it, and then we'll toggle through each one. So just let it run through a bit so you can see what's going on with the current lighting effect. Okay, so let's toggle on through with function insert to the next mode. So with this mode, it lights the keys up. And the colors will change with each or various key presses. So there we go. Obviously, trying to show you as much as I can. So this will end up being quite a long video. Such is the nature of trying to show you as much as possible. And I'm trying to keep my hands out of the way as well, so that you can actually see what's happening with the lights on the keys. Okay, next mode, function insert, toggles to the next mode. So you can see this wavy or waving sweeping mode, and we can do function right on the arrow keys just to speed it up, give you some sense to the speeds of the effect. So slowing it right down there. You can see a nice and wavy pattern. Okay, function insert, bringing us to the next lighting effect. Okay, so this just seems to kind of go left and right, up and down. So color comes down and then reverses its way up the keyboard. Let's do function right just to speed it up. There you can see it zipping away with the zigzag effect and undoing it. And we can slow it right down as well. So nice and steady effect right there. And let's move on to the next one, function insert. So this seems to be a ripple effect mode. So this is pretty cool. Imagine this is quite fun in complete darkness. So as you can see, the ripple starts from the key being pressed. Okay, let's see if we can speed that up or slow that down. So function down. Okay, so you can see now that ripple effect has been slowed down quite severely or significantly. And let's go, well, let's just press a few more keys. Feels really weird seeing it go so slowly. Now let's speed it up. Function right brings the effect speed right up now. So there we go. That ripple is a lot quicker now. Just shoots off to the sides and up as well, or spreads to the sides. Right, so function insert, next mode. So this was the kind of light, the keys light up in the surrounding area, and so the key itself being pressed does not light up. However, the adjacent keys do light up and the color does change. There we go, around with each key press. Okay, so there we go, nice and simple. Now let's see if we can speed it up. And does the effect work quicker and fade faster? Let's slow it down, see if we can see any difference. They both look the same to me. Okay, let's move on to the next mode, function insert. And this appears to be a multicolored sweeping effect. Let's see what happens when we press or type on the keyboard. No effect. So let's go ahead and speed it up. See if we can speed it up or slow it down. Oh, okay, very interesting. It's halted completely. So there are various speeds that we can toggle through, obviously. So far I've just done the extreme ends of going to the maximum speed or to the slowest speed. So obviously there are adjustments or steps in between. This one you can really see the effect with each adjustment of the speed. So let's toggle it up and bump that speed right up again. Okay, so now let's do the next color mode, function insert. So we're back to the startup mode or effect, which just appears to be a static red Okay, if we do function right or function down, no change to the effect as far as I can see. Function insert onto the second effect, and this is the breathing mode, and obviously you can increase the speed or decrease the speed. So let's decrease it now, and you can see that fade in, fade out is very, very subtle now, slow and very, very, very subtle. And of course we can speed it back up again, so it does beat a little bit faster. Function insert back to this program, user program or customize mode, which we did earlier by setting the color ourselves with each individual key with the function home programming. So function home flashes with the 3 LEDs above the keypad, and that is in the programming mode obviously. And function home again saves that customization, and then obviously toggling through with function insert will bring us back to this mode. I wonder if we can change the speeds. I mean, not sure if there's any kind of speed effect, don't think so, but there we go. Actually, let's do programming function. Just messing around. Highly unlikely there's any kind of effect with the speed adjustments. Okay, now toggling through, function insert. This is a cycling mode with the colors, many colors as you can see, or quite a few, and being changed very quickly. So now let's slow it down with the function left. And now that transition is very, very smooth. Okay, and obviously they are in between speeds, stepping it up to the maximum right now. You can see just blinking away almost. Okay, function insert. Okay, so with this mode, the colors or the keys will light up, and they do change color with alternating key presses. Okay. Right. Now, let's see if function right does anything to the effect. Does it fade faster? Maybe. So function left. Yes, it does have an effect on the lighting effect with the function left and right. Function left keeps the key lit up for longer. Function right speeds it up, so it does fade away a lot more quickly. Okay, function insert with the kind of wavy mode again. So I think we've pretty much covered all the lighting effects, and of course try to adjust their speeds as well, so seeing them in very high speed or slow speed with each of the effects. And with this one, back to the zigzag again, let's speed it up. Okay, and let's see, let's keep it there, and let me bring the keyboard up close so you can see what's going on and the detail of the LEDs coming through the keys. So zagging and zigging, or zigging and zagging away from top to bottom, and then reversing. Alright, so nice close-up details of the LEDs shining away there on the keyboard. Now let's just toggle to another mode. And this keyboard also has multimedia function keys with the function F1 through to F12. As you might have already noticed, it does have a Windows key lock as well. Okay, let's see what mode we're in right now. Okay, the ripple effect, pretty cool. I think this is one of my most favorite modes since it kind of interacts with you, and it does have quite an eye-catching effect to it as well. Alright, so did we try speeding it up earlier? I think we did. Yes, with that spread across the keyboard or away from the key being pressed. Let's slow it down. Slowing down, of course, does have a much stranger feel to it. Okay, and let's bring it up just slightly. Doesn't need to be super fast or anything like that. There we go. And just pressing away on the keyboard right there gives you some sense of the effect. And function insert again. And this is the one where the keys adjacent to the key being pressed gets lit up, and obviously the duration of the light can be adjusted with the function left to slow it down and function right to speed it up. And this is the multicolored left to right wave. So no interaction there. And I think we're back to the static mode. Let's see what function S does. Okay, so something else right there, function S. Not quite sure what happened there, but you can see kind of swept from left to right. We just discovered something else. Obviously, always read the user manual before trying to operate any form of mechanical or electronic device. Okay, function S just kind of sweeps left, right. Seems to apply to all modes right there. Not quite sure what that purpose is, but I showed a close-up of the user manual earlier, so perhaps someone could tell me or post in the comments. Okay, and function insert. Okay, I think, let's see, function home. Oh, so there we go. Function S seems to have reset all the settings of the lighting effects and modes because we've lost our programming earlier. What we did was we left it at JLK from what I remembered. Now it's just gone back to WASD and the arrow keys right here. And you can tell this is the programming mode because when you hit function home, the LEDs do blink up there. That doesn't happen with the other lighting modes. Should that, well, okay, so there we go. So if we did function home now, not programmable in this slot right here, or effect. Okay, so There we go. We've seen pretty much all the effects in very much great detail, and that's what makes such a video so long. But it is a pretty thorough. Oh, there's one more thing. We did play around with the speed, but we didn't play around with the brightness, so we can actually bump the brightness up as well. So let's try that and see if that does have an impact. Yes, so function up bumps the brightness of the LEDs up, and down dims it, of course. So lots of customizability in terms of speed of the effect and brightness to make it just right for whichever lighting effect that you so choose. So just bumped it up to the maximum brightness. I think it was pretty much at the maximum anyway, so that's good to see that you haven't missed out on the effect being run at a lower brightness. So let's toggle it through and lowering the brightness by doing the function down, function up increases the brightness. Obviously it is stepped, so it's nice to kind of tune it to the right brightness for yourself. So that's the lowest right there with the red static, and just slowly tap it up with the function up, bumps the brightness to maximum, no change right there. Function down brings it right down, and function up, right up again. So right there, oh, nice and bright right there. So lovely, lovely effect. And function insert. This is the program mode. Nothing programmed at the moment, so let's just do a quick random keys right there. Oh, actually, let's reset it and go into program mode so you can be apply some creativity right there. So tapping away obviously toggles the color or not, should you choose, and function home saves that setting. And let's toggle again. Okay, let's bump it right up again with the brightness and function down, right down. Nice and easy right there. And back up to maximum brightness. Function insert. Okay, and function insert again. So let's just find a lighting effect and leave it there. So what I did there was bump up the brightness. It is now at the maximum brightness for this effect. And let's increase the speed of it. So there we go. And just going through again the different modes. So I think this mode is probably the most demonstrative, and giving you a close-up look at the colors there and the transition and how smooth the colors change. And so we did function up to bump the brightness to maximum, which it appears to be. and function right to increase the speed of the effect. Of course, function left does slow it down. So it appears kind of stuttery now at this speed. And it is, of course, purely intentional. So let's increase that speed again. And let's just bump it up to the maximum right there, which I think it's currently at right now. Okay, so function right, just double checking, making sure that it is at the maximum speed. So that's the JK Tech E Element Z-88 mechanical gaming keyboard. Thanks for watching and happy gaming!